So this is a 2021 Kia K5. Not my car, but today I get to play with it. So this is the 1.6 turbo all-wheel drive. And it is completely stock. A little dusty, but that's okay. Yeah, so today this car gets a intake from NGT Performance. So this is the complete intake system from NGT Performance. Powder coated pipe, couple couplers, some clamps that are needed, and a AEM dry flow air filter. And then one quick thing is the tools that are needed. Extension, don't need it that long, just happy with what I had. So extension, 10mm socket, the ratchet, some pliers for the hose clamps, and a screwdriver. Okay, so first thing to do would be to remove this piece here, and for this you really just pull up on this here, and that just slides out of place. Next you want to remove the hose, so take the pliers, pull that back, pull out, and that comes out just like that, and that one there. Then you want to do the clamp that's here and back on the back side of the turbo inlet. There's a clamp there. Alright, so you pull that out and that comes out just like that. We won't need this piece again, so we'll set that aside. And then important, back here on the turbo inlet there is this kind of rubber grommet or something that stays behind. You want to make sure you pull that one out, and that is what you are left with. Up here, the airflow sensor is held on with 2 bolts. There's one right back there, right there, and there's another one here. So for that you need a 10mm ratchet. You just need to undo these. When it gets to where it goes, you don't have to rip it all the way out, and then you can press down and this clamp releases. So let me just push that back down so you can see how that went. Oh, I guess I can't do it without it clipping onto something, but you'll see when it goes up back together. So that's out of the way. Pull the airflow sensor out. And like I said, this is a manifold airflow sensor, not a pressure sensor, so I'm not understanding why they went this way. Kind of limits a few things, but that's what it looks like. That's the inlet, that's the outlet side. On here there's this little rubber gasket. You will not be needing this anymore, so let's put that to the side as well. And then we'll need this, so we'll put this to the side. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't need this kind of an extension, but it works. There's basically one bolt there, and really you just need clearance that, doesn't have to be that long, but take that off. There's also another bolt back here. It's, if you're looking straight down, there you go. So put that here. Let's get that out. Oh. So the intake system is now removed. Took all of a couple minutes. I'm gonna go grab the parts. Be right back. All right, so I pre-assembled these two pieces together. It was tight fit, so I needed both hands, but that's on there. And then now this, I'm just gonna slide back onto the turbo inlet here. Actually, oh, that was going in. Okay, so that is in. Just make sure it goes all the way down. There we go. So that is in, and now it's just a matter of tightening that back there. So you can use either a screwdriver or me. Since I have this, I'm just going to be using that to get that tightened. So again, just two hands makes it difficult, so just put the filter bit on the airflow sensor. And then I'm positioning the clamp so that when this does go in, the actual clamp part of it's kind of on the back side. I think it'll look a little cleaner, look a little better. But there's that. Now to grab the actual pipe. All right, guys, so now just put the pipe in. Again, position the clamp so that it's mainly on the back side. All left to do is to connect the back, connect the hoses. Fairly easy. So on this one, I'm going to just make it easy, position it about that way. So what you do here is you slide this onto the pipe so that then you can pop that into the coupler and then slide it over, because there is that rolled lip on the edge of that pipe. So before I do final tightening there, I'm going to connect this hose clamp. And that goes on just like that. Same thing with this hose clamp. Just like that. Grab your pliers. Put those there. Same thing here. Put those there. And grab your sensor here. You're gonna slide this into position all the way down. You're gonna hear it click. Once you do, that can slide back in. There's that click I was telling you guys about earlier. So now it's just about done. Just a matter of positioning and tightening that rear clamp back there. Let me get something I need both hands for, and unfortunately I don't have my stand here to hold the camera for me, so be right back. All right, so the back clamp is now tight, and then I forgot to mention, guys, I can get it to focus here. 7mm. The other socket I was using is a 10mm, so this is a 7. If you want to use this instead of a screwdriver to tighten everything down. But at this point, it's just a matter of placing this piece back on the car. And this just, again, there's little clamp positions there. You just clamps there, and you're done. Quick, simple install. The reason I put that back on there is because it does get fresh air from there, pushes it into the engine bay area. If that wasn't there, it would just push it kind of where the intake manifold area is there. So it is going to get a little bit fresher air from out here, which, I mean, arguably doesn't mean much. I mean, it does, but I mean, you're still taking the air, sucking it into a really hot turbo, coming back here, and fixing all with an intercooler before it goes back in the engine. So that was the NGT intake install. Super easy. If you have two hands and you're not recording it literally 10-15 minutes, do it by yourself with just some, as you can see, some basic tools. So awesome. I'm going to be doing some more stuff with this car. Again, it's not mine, but I get to play with it, so why not? Thanks for watching. Real quick, almost forgot, performance and sound. So intake systems like this, depending on weather, other mods, I mean, you're really looking at a maybe 10 horsepower increase, nothing too crazy. but you should see a slight bump, especially in cooler weather. The statics, I mean, it looks pretty good. Something nice on the engine bay. And then sound, driving the car around, you do get a little bit of a, you can hear the turbo sucking the air in, which sounds pretty cool at the lower RPM. So anything under 35 to 4,000. Above that, it doesn't sound too loud or too different from OEM. That might change as more parts are added to the car. But it gives you a nice turbo inlet sound. And you do get to, even though the recirculation valve is hooked back up, you do get to hear your recirculation valve a little bit when it releases and air back in the system.